Okay, I make that 10 o'clock now, so I'll get started. If anyone else does join, I'll just do a quick recap. So I'm Lisa, I work on the apprenticeship recruitment team, and also on with me today is Beth, who's going to help answer any questions. So Beth, if you just keep an eye on the chat, and you might want to type in some of the answers as I'm going through, just to help keep up. So I'll make a start by sharing my screen. And I'll go through a quick presentation, and then if you have got any questions, guys, just make sure you do use the chat facility to ask those questions. Okay, hopefully everyone can see that.
Yeah, we can see that, please.
Okay, brilliant. Right, okay, so welcome to our first set of virtual open events. So some of you might have already logged on to one of our course area events earlier in the week. So if you did, we do hope you enjoyed them and you got all the information you need. So as you've come towards the end of year 11, you've probably explored some of the areas in the top boxes. Some of you might not have even been in year 11, some of you might have done a year in college. But all of those areas at the top are some options for you in further education. So whether it's A-levels, vocational courses, or today you're here to find out apprenticeships. So whatever route you decide, that'll take you to where your end goal is. So whether that's university, onto full-time employment, or if you want to carry on training and gain more professional qualifications. So whatever route you choose, that will take you to where you want to be. So just a quick overview on what an apprenticeship is. So apprenticeships are a great way to develop knowledge and skills on the job whilst gaining qualifications and earning a wage at the same time. So apprenticeships have grown massively over the last couple of years, and just recently I think the government have now recognised the impact that COVID-19 has had on businesses, and I think over the next couple of months we're going to be seeing a bit of a rise in apprenticeships. I think they're going to be investing a lot more into apprenticeships and realising the importance of apprenticeships and training. So there's a large range of apprenticeships available. So whether you're aiming for an office-based role within the business world, or if you dream of working in construction, there's something for everyone, and they're developing all the time. So there's always new apprenticeships being developed as the time goes on. So to start an apprenticeship, you do need an employer linked to your training. So if you don't manage to secure an employer for your apprenticeship, you will have to start on a full-time programme within college, and we'll work with you to try and secure your employer as you go through college. So it's not necessarily a bad thing by starting onto the full-time programme, because you will gain skills and knowledge that you can transfer over into the workplace at a later stage. So with an apprenticeship, it is 30 hours a week, so that's as a minimum. 4 days of your week will be spent within the workplace, and 1 day will be spent in college. So you do get paid. So at the moment, the minimum wage for an apprentice is £4.15 an hour. Now, it doesn't sound a lot, but when you compare it to being in full-time study, you're not getting anything. And that is as a minimum. Some employers do choose to pay a little bit more. At St Helens College, we do have strong collaborations with employers, and we'll go through a couple of our live vacancies in a couple of minutes. So apprenticeships are very popular with school leavers. Well, anyone aged 16 to 18, really, they are really popular. So competition is fierce. So it is important that you stand out from the crowd. And I'll come on to how you can do this in a second. So the level of apprenticeship will depend on your previous experience and your previous qualifications. So an individual can now start an apprenticeship at any level appropriate to the job. So there's even managers who are apprentices now. And you have the opportunity to progress and go on to higher level apprenticeships. So if you started at level 2, you've got the option to go right through the levels, and there's even degree level apprenticeships now. So as I say, they have developed quite a lot over the last couple of years. All apprenticeships do require a good level of maths and English. So to gain an apprenticeship, we do look for 5 GCSEs at grade 4 and above, including your English and your maths. So there are a couple of ways that you can enter an apprenticeship. So if you know someone who's willing to take you on, ask them to contact the college on the number in the bottom box there. So it's that 0800 number. If you've got your phone, you might want to take a a quick photo of the screen. And we can then provide them with all the information they need, and we'll arrange to visit them and complete all the relevant paperwork and get you signed up as an apprentice. So you can also search and apply for live vacancies on the National Apprenticeship Service website. Approach employers directly yourself, and I'm a big fan of that because I think it shows your initiative and your confidence to do that. And you can also search on our website for live vacancies. So we do have a few, as I said, so I'll come on to that in a second. So if you haven't secured an employer before September, don't panic. As I say, enrol onto the full-time programme and make your tutor aware that you are looking for an apprenticeship. We can then help support you and search and transfer you over onto an apprenticeship once you've found an employer. Okay, so to stand out from the crowd, you should make sure that you have an up-to-date, well-written CV, and your CV should be concise, professional, presenting all of your skills and attributes. It should contain any work experience that you've done, any impressive projects from school. Make sure you include things like your NCS and your Duke of Edinburgh programme if you've done them. Make sure you put your education on there, so usually just from senior school and college, university if you've been there as well. Grades or predicted grades. Now, if you're putting your predicted grades on, you need to state that they are predicted grades. So just put a little note on the top just to say the predicted grades and when you're expected to get your results. Make sure you put your hobbies and interests on there as well. Make sure a little bit of your personality comes through within your CV, because that will help you to stand out. So if you do want to be considered for future apprenticeship vacancies that are linked to the college, email a copy of your CV to the email address at the bottom there. So it's appenquiry@sthelens.ac.uk, along with a little introduction to yourself and what type of apprenticeship you would like. So that just helps us to give an indication on what sort of vacancy you're looking for. We can then add you to our talent pool, and if any future vacancies come through, we can then get in contact with you to discuss further. So Beth, I don't know if at this stage, do you want to talk through a couple of the vacancies that we have got? And I'll leave that screen on just for people to make a note of the email address.
Yeah, can do. So I've also put that email address in the chat as well. So if you want to copy it or something, keep a hold of that. So at the moment we have got a couple. We've got about 4 vacancies. So 3 of them that are live and 1 that is closed, but we are still accepting CVs for. So I'll just run you through them. So we've got an AAT, which is accountancy position with Fairfield Independent Hospital. So that one's based in St Helens. So for anyone that's interested in a career in accounting, that might be one for you. Really good employer, and we've worked with those for a while as well. Got some apprentices that have worked through with them, so that's a really, really good position. We've also got a business admin position at Prestige, so that's another one based in St Helens. Again, we've had apprentices with them in the past who've been kept on once they've completed their training. So again, another really good employer. We've also got a hairdressing vacancy, so that one's based in Prescott at a salon called Karen K at Promise. So that's a new salon, that's not one that we've worked with before as far as I know. But again, if you're interested in a career in hairdressing, that could be a good one for you. And the position that's closed is based in Warrington, and it's a tiling position. So anyone that's interested in the construction industry, that might be one for you to look at. You'll find information for them on our website. So I think Lisa showed you the link to the job shop, or it will come up on this PowerPoint at some point. So if you go onto the job shop on our website, you'll see all the vacancies there. But what I've also done is I've put the app inquiry email in the chat box. If you are interested in any of those positions that I've just spoke about, you can email, so it's Jemima, so I'll pop her name in there as well. It's Jemima who picks up those, you'll pick up your email with your CV on. So if you do want to apply for any of them, just drop Jemima an email. I've also put Jemima's email in that box. Yeah, I think that's it from me. Back to you.
Well, thank you. Right, yeah, so on the next slide here, we've got our apprenticeship guide. So if you are struggling to write a CV, there's great hints and tips on what to include within that. You can also find good information on a lot of employment websites, so the likes of Reed, they have good guides into writing a CV. But you can download that guide that we've got there by visiting www.sthelens.ac.uk/apprenticeships. So I know some of you might be Knowsley students, so it is a combined guide. So it's St Helens and Knowsley College that have created this guide together. And then at the bottom there, we've got a link to our job shop. So I know we have been having a couple of issues with the job shop, a couple of technical issues recently. I'm hoping they'll be fixed by the end of the day, and all of the vacancies that we have live will be listed on there. So if you've got your phone, just take a quick screenshot or photograph of those links there, and they will help you as you move forward. So just wanted to highlight a couple of the big employers that we do work with. So as well as smaller employers, these are just a couple of our bigger employers that we work with, and we tend to recruit for these year on year. So we've got Matalan, we've got Gleeson, we've got Fairfield Independent Hospital, Wetherby, BYK, Ashley McDonough. So as well as the smaller employers, we do have big employers that we work with. HMS in the middle there, I know they took on quite a few. Just last year we did a big recruitment drive for them. And I think there was 8 vacancies that we had available, and there was over 100 applications that we needed, over 500 I think applications that we needed to get through for them. So yeah, so we have got good employer links and partnerships, and vacancies do come through all the time. So if you haven't applied to us yet, make sure you do get your applications in. So it's always a good idea, if you've not got an employer linked to your training as of yet, just get an application form in for a full-time college course. There is an option on the form to say that you are interested in an apprenticeship, and as I say, if you do get an employer come October, November, we can then transfer you over onto the apprenticeship pathway, and it's just so you've got an option for September. Make sure you get your application in. And just before I finish, to take a couple of questions, make sure you are following us on social media just to keep up to date with the latest goings on at college. We do also post our vacancies up on there, so you'll have a vacancy of the week that will go up on our social media channels. So just make sure you're opening up all the platforms available to you to make sure you're getting the latest information around apprenticeships. If you have applied to us already, that email, I know I'm giving you a lot of email addresses here, but that email address on the bottom there is, if you've got any questions around your current application, just drop that email address and someone will get back to you as soon as they can. Okay, so just a quick recap. So you do need an employer linked to your training to be able to start an apprenticeship. You will need to have your GCSEs at grade 4 and above in your English and your maths. You will need a standout CV. And if you don't have an employer, just make sure you are registered for one of the full-time courses. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. I can see a couple of questions have popped in, and we'll answer any questions that you have got.
So Nathan asked about employer links, Lisa, and I have answered them, but I don't know whether you want to just add any more to that, what I said. So I just mentioned that employer links is employers that we're working with, and we have quite good employer links because we've already got a lot of apprentices working around the Northwest with, like you said, some big employers, but also some smaller employers as well.
Yeah, so we work with over 500 employers currently at college, and that's growing all the time. As I say, we do get vacancies through on a regular basis. It has took a dip since obviously the current situation with COVID-19, but I'm expecting that to come back up over the next couple of weeks and months as the government invests a little bit more. So Sophie, I can see your question there about Prince's Trust. So there is a Prince's Trust session tomorrow, and we'll send you the details for that in the chat in a second. So is it 2 o'clock tomorrow? A little look for you.
Yeah, 2:30 tomorrow, Lise.
So there's a session on Prince's Trust tomorrow at 2:30. And Sophie, I'll get your details from what you've registered today, and I'll send you the Prince's Trust information if you want to book on to that session tomorrow. Okay. Has anyone got any other questions around apprenticeships? Does anyone have an employer currently that they need the business team to get in touch with them to sign you up as an apprentice for September? I say, if anyone does want to send the CV across, we'll add you to our talent pool as well, so that if any relevant vacancies come in, we can get in touch with you and go from there.
So I put that in the chat as well, but just to touch on that again, if you send your CV over, what will happen next is Jemima will contact you, just to do a bit of a quick telephone interview with you. Not necessarily an interview, more just to find out your interest and why you want apprenticeship in whatever particular industry. So please make sure that all your details are up to date on your CV. I know Lisa's already mentioned that, but that's so important. If your contact number's one digit out, or your email address is .com instead of .co.uk or anything like that, that could be an issue when we're trying to contact you.
Yeah, it's always a good idea if you are applying for vacancies as well to have a voicemail set up. Quite often employers will get a lot of CVs that they need to get through. If your phone's just ringing out and you're not answering it because it's an unknown number, they're more than likely going to just pop your CV in the bin. So if they've got an opportunity to leave a message, at least then you've got another opportunity to ring them back, and your CV's just not going straight in the bin. Nathan, I'm looking for website development apprenticeship. Okay, Nathan, we have had those previously. I don't think we've got any at the moment. We have had vacancies like that come in previously. So send your CV across to Jemima, and if anything does come in, we will get in touch with you to let you know. Okay, we'll just give it another couple of minutes to see if any questions come in, and then if not, I'll end the session there. So do make sure you use the email addresses, guys, if you have got any questions around apprenticeships, and we'll do our best to answer those. And download a copy of the guide as well. Got some good information in there, so it is important that you do try and make your CV stand out, because competition is really high for apprenticeships.
I'm just going to paste the link to the apprenticeship section on the website in the chat for everyone, so if you want to take a little look at that.
Okay, so there's no more questions coming through, so I think I'll end there. So thanks everyone for joining today. As I say, my name's Lisa, so if you do have any questions, just get in touch with the college. Just say you want to speak to Lisa on the apprenticeship team, and your email will get to me some way or another. Okay, right, thanks everyone. Bye now.
Bye.